All right, welcome in, boys. Take it to the bank, Las Vegas. I'm your host, Keg. With me, as always, my NASCAR partner in crime, Cooper. Back-to-back weekends. Back-to-back about 15-plus unit weekends. We'll take it. I'm feeling lovely this Tuesday evening. How are you, my friend?
I'm all right.
Now, come on, man. Come on. If I listen, you know me, okay? I rarely feel good. If I tell you I'm feeling lovely on a Tuesday evening, I need you to be feeling lovely, man.
I feel really lovely compared to this morning. How's that?
My poor guy is going through it. How you feeling? Any better?
I feel fine now. So
you sound great. Do you remember how you sounded last week? You sounded like you were on death's door.
Yeah, I was congested. I had a bunch of snot in my nose.
Yeah.
So
you sound great.
Like that was the worst this morning, man, when I had to blow my nose. Oh God.
Brutal?
It was brutal. When you see food coming out of your nose, it's not good, Jay.
Did you write in the chat waiting for Jay had to shit? Did you write that?
That had to be Twatty.
I don't know who that was, but it definitely wasn't me, and it definitely wasn't you. All right. So let's recap the week. Coop gave out about a 19-1 parlay for our subscribers. Cash it. It hit. Keg gave out we hit Almirola at 450 twice on Saturday, once before, once during the race. I hit the Chris Bell parlay at plus 1240. We hit Chris Buescher top 10 at plus 170. We left endless amounts of money on the table with the group bet that we were set up to slam, which we ended up finishing, I think, one spot off at 16-1. And we just missed the top four also at 8.
You weren't close on the 16-1.
We weren't?
No. You were one spot off on the top four.
Oh, okay. That was Buescher, right?
Right.
Oh, Bubba fell back?
Oh, yeah. Bubba hit the wall.
Oh, okay.
Way back.
Okay. Bubba hit the wall. Okay. All in all, I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about it. It was a great weekend. Could have been a lot better. But we'll take the, you made almost 20 units. I think I probably made 15 on the weekend. Can't complain. Last weekend, we had a great weekend. Super speedways are behind us. What were your thoughts at Phoenix?
Well, I mean, first I got to start by saying this, and I'm sure you're going to give me a bunch of crap.
Go ahead.
The picks were really good.
Okay.
We put ourselves in a very good position.
We did.
But we were probably 3 or 4 feet away from having a horrible weekend. We must thank the NASCAR gods because variance was on our side. We had no Bowman in the Xfinity.
Correct.
And we had no Hamlin in Cup. Correct. So the two of them, Chris Bell and Eric Almirola, didn't win by much.
They did not even a full, not even probably right. Not even a half of a car length.
So we have to have a big thank you to the NASCAR variance gods. They were on our side this past weekend.
They were. I'm not going to argue with that. They were. We were on we were on the best car in the race, in the Cup race. Honestly, we were on the best car in both races. I mean, I think in Xfinity, Allgaier was the best car, but if he would have won, we would have cashed the ticket also. So, you know what I mean? But we were on the best car in both races, but I don't disagree with you. When you look at how those races finished and who finished second, we were close to getting our dick kicked in, but we were on the best car in the race and they won.
Right. Just remember that. All right. Because, if they would have lost, it would have been bad because we would have lost units for the weekend. And you probably would have been in a sour mood instead of a happy mood when you had your conversation with George.
You're 100% correct.
It might not have even happened.
You're 100% correct. But Milo points out we also had some nasty variants in the props market, though, Coop. Let's be fair. Also true. What do you mean? I got taken out of the race like 40 laps in. What are you talking about?
Winning the top Ford, I don't know, because Josh Berry was up there the whole day. Busher just came at the end. All right.
Yeah, but to be fair, we lost an 8-1 by one spot, Coop.
Yeah, you did. You did. One spot. But again, Josh Berry was really good. A lot better than anybody thought he was going to be.
100%. 100%. I did not see that coming from Wood. So I agree.
Yeah. So, but I mean, as far as the race goes, I thought it was good, solid race. I think the cautions helped tremendously because they allowed different drivers to try different strategies. We don't have the cautions. More drivers are going to be on the same strategies, which would have made it much different, in my opinion.
So
maybe not the outcome, but the type of racing.
What were your thoughts on the option tire? The only guy that was able to pass a primary tire on the option tire in that race was Chris Bell. And he was the best car by a fucking country mile in that race. Not even remotely close. He was the only car that was able to get by the primary. So, like, how do you feel about this option tire that we're going to go to the championship race with?
I don't really care for them using two different sets of tires in one race.
Agree.
But if they use one, I think it's going to have to fall off a little bit more. Like, I think it would be good what they have for Richmond because Richmond's an abrasive track. Phoenix just isn't abrasive. And yes, there's fall off, but there's not enough fall off. And then the other piece too, no matter what tire they use, I think the biggest outcome of how it works is how many sets of these tires are they going to provide to them? Because if they provide them with, more than enough, they'll just pit and it will never even become an issue. All right. But if they really limit them to an appropriate amount to where they have to run,
right,
then it could make it much more interesting.
Yeah.
They had practice yesterday, like 10 hours trying out other soft tires. So we'll see. And I know Adam said this, and I hope they do use whatever tire they're going to use at Phoenix in one race prior to it, at least. So we can see, what's going to happen. And
right.
The drivers and teams and so on and so forth can see also. Going in blindly, I don't know. I don't know if Chris Bell was a big fan of that option tire. I don't know.
Why do you say that?
I mean, that last restart, man, like if we go 3, 4, or 5 laps instead of 2, I could very easily see Larson and Denny overtaking him. He just didn't seem, right on those 2 laps. They were very close to him. Very close to him. And if it would have went 3 laps, I see a world, because Larson was right behind him on the finish line, where Larson goes down and pinches him, and he's in the middle, and he gets sucked back. And it's Denny on one side and Larson on the other. So,
yeah,
I don't know. If they use that tire, yeah, he has an incredible, record the last 2 races at Las Vegas. Great car. Unbelievable. But I don't know. I might have to give Denny and Larson the edge over him, because I think they're better at managing tires than Chris Bell. Not that Chris Bell's bad or anything. I just think they're that much better.
So Chris Bell, first time in the next gen era, wins 3 races in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Super speedway, road course, short track, cookie cutter up next.
Can you rewind?
Yeah.
He's one Cole Custer bump from maybe having 4 wins in a row.
Is he the clear cut, after Kyle Larson, second best driver in the sport right now? Like, how do you rate his 2024 and what we've seen so far in 2025? It's hard to argue.
Yeah, I mean, definitely he's right behind Larson. But like, we really shouldn't be surprised, because the last 2 years, not saying that he could have won 3 in a row or done, this, but like, he was in a spot several times to win races, or he had a very, 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 very good car.
Yeah.
Like, something happened to him on the track, or his pit team let him down, or he made a mistake, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not like he hasn't put himself in this position over the last 2 years. It's just all coming through right now.
I agree with that. Who would you say right now, for your money, is 3, 4, and 5?
Like, total best driver? Like,
Yeah.
All like
Currently in the Cup.
Like, what are you talking, like, in all formats? Like,
Yes. Overall, Kyle Larson is the best NASCAR driver on the planet. I think Chris Bell right now, I think you can comfortably say, based on this year and what we saw last year, is probably the second best car / guy in the sport. Who's 3, 4, and 5?
But are you talking just NASCAR, or are you talking like,
I'm talking just NASCAR.
Okay.
Only the sport we bet. Yeah.
All right. Will Byron, number 3.
Okay.
I think the next ones are really close. And you could say 4 is 6, 5 is 7, 7 is 5, 6 is 4. I think they're all real close.
In no particular order. Is Reddick in the top 5?
Yeah.
So who's that last spot? Denny or Elliott? Or Logano? Or Blaney?
Yeah. I think it's hard to take Blaney out. It's hard to put Elliott and Hamlin over Blaney
Right now, right.
Right. But again, I think they all could interchange between 4 and 7.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. So right now, for your money, the clear cut top of the sphere is Larson, Bell, Byron, and Reddick.
I won't know if I put Reddick in the same category as the first 3.
Okay. So top 3, and then it gets hairy.
Right.
I'll buy that.
But I think I would put Reddick as 4 in the next ones between Hamlin, Elliott, and Blaney.
I think I would too, because of that road course acumen on top of how strong he's been. I probably would too. I think you're splitting hairs with Elliott, Blaney,
Right.
and Denny for sure. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, I'm basically right there with you. All right, so now we move to Las Vegas. Cookie cutter, 1.5 mile oval, similar to Texas, similar to Charlotte, similar to Kansas. First real cookie cutter we've had this year. Phoenix doesn't count. Atlanta's a super speedway now. In terms of manufacturers, Toyota, Chevy, 1, 2, which way? Chevy 1, Toyota 2?
Yeah, I added Meyer. You just can't see him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Chevy 1, Toyota 2.
There's my guy.
You guys talking about how to make money this week or what?
Hey, man, listen, man. I was trying to just waste time until you got here, okay?
You should have seen me. I was driving through traffic like Kyle Larson.
All right. So, Coop, for your money, Chevy 1, Toyota 2, Ford 3?
Correct.
Meyer?
Are you talking strictly for Vegas?
Yes.
Chevy 1, Toyota 2, Ford 3.
I don't disagree. My one caveat would be, boy, Chris Bell and Tyler Reddick are fucking pretty good on 1.5 miles in terms of speed the last couple of years.
So is Kyle Larson and Will Byron.
Yeah, Cooper.
Don't hit him with the facts.
Yeah, I mean, look, Coop, let me finish my thought.
I think, like, at this particular race,
that's fine.
The two that I mentioned have wins.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think that Kyle Larson and Will Byron are on the same plane as Bell and Reddick. I guess I would say Chevy 1, Toyota 2.
You guess or you are? Let's get straight. No more guessing.
So indecisive.
You can't be playing that game no more, right?
Can I say Chevy 1 but put Will? Can I say Chevy 1 but throw Chris Bell in the 1A basket? Because I'd feel much better about that.
No.
If I could.
No.
Could I do that?
No.
All right. So, yeah, I don't disagree. I would say Chevy 1, Toyota 2, Ford 3. But I think it's close. All right. So it's the outright market show. Let's go through the outright markets. Let me pull up. At 365, DK, Caesars.
So while you're pulling all that stuff up, just to circle back for a second, because I heard you guys talking about the tire. If you listen to Denny's podcast, I will default to Denny on the tire every time. He loved the tire. Said it's the best thing they've done. Best tire they brought to any track. Loves it.
What's your thoughts though? That the only person that was able to pass a primary on the Reds was Chris Bell. Nobody else the entire day. And he was the best car on the track.
Well, because they forced Joey to run long. Everybody else would have passed him too because that tire was dead. Bell just ran them down because that tire had so much. The tire fell off, right? That's why Bell was able to run them down. I think you would have saw the longer that stage would have went, the more guys would have passed him. That tire truly had fall off. I think Denny said that, it's it had around 3 seconds of fall off over the course of whatever the 60 laps that they were running, something like that. I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but he
Before
said
we
that
get
tire is the solution for all short tracks.
But Adam,
Really?
don't you agree that like the tire can be great and it can fall off, but like they've got to limit the number of tires they give these guys.
wait, Denny
Tires.
Denny said that the answer to all the short track woes is that tire.
Yeah, because you know they're not going to add more horsepower. It's done. Put it to bed. The only thing they can do is bring the softest tire that will fall off.
Yeah,
Right?
but I mean, how many tires would you have to? How many reds?
No, they need to get away from the option. You just bring the reds. There's no option tire. It's just the red tire. That's it.
Hey, bro, the reds were the option tire.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you don't get an option anymore. It's just the soft tires.
Right. But how many tires in a 500 lap or mile race would you have to go through? If you're
That's
just
up to the engineers at Goodyear to figure out, right? And it's up for the teams to manage, right? That's what Denny wants. You got to make the teams manage the tires.
I give them 2 per stage and then 1 extra.
2 per stage and then 1. No fucking shot. 5?
They ran that tire. Joey ran that tire for 90 laps.
They've got to manage the tire.
Right.
And then again, but if you do what you're wanting to do, evidently, they're just going to short pit. And they're not going to have any,
You have to make the tire matter. If you give them 10 sets of tires, the tire's not going to matter anyways. Yep. You got to make them manage the tire over the course of the run.
Yep. But then also, Adam, my one worry about what Denny says, though, is if you were Denny Hamlin and you're probably the best at managing tires.
Well, of course he's going to want the soft tire.
Of course he's going to want the soft tire because he knows it's the big advantage for him.
Yeah, I get that. But we've seen what the short track package is like without tires that fall off.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can't do is because their strategy for Phoenix, right, is to bring that soft tire for the entire race. That's it. But why would you bring just that strategy to the championship race? Like, there is plenty of short tracks to just run the option or the soft tire the entire race.
Yeah.
Don't use Phoenix as your test vehicle.
Martinsville and Richmond. You can't run that tire at Bristol because of the bank.
Okay, then that's fine. But just don't make the championship race your test vehicle for the entire run of soft tires.
And you could probably run that tire on road courses too.
Sure. And to your point, when you're talking about Chris Bell, Bell said that he didn't like the option tire because it takes away from the best cars in the championship race. Then it leads it to tire strategy where Ty Dillon, because that last set of stickers that he had, those reds, he could have won that race. It leaves it a little bit more open to parity, I think. Yeah. So that's it.
They're never going to make everybody happy.
Of course not. That's what NASCAR is now. They can't even make their fans happy. It's fine. It's NASCAR.
All right. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something, but I forgot. So I'm just going to look at the outright market. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. So last year, Meyer pulled up the opening odds. There were 7 drivers that were 10 to 1 or under. Of the 7, 6 were plus 850 or better. The only guy under 850 was Kyle Larson at 4 to 1. Now, you look at the outright market, there are 2 people under 3.5 to 1. There are 4 people under 7 to 1. And there are 6 people 10 to 1 or under. And I sent out a tweet earlier saying people ask why Coop and I started going to outright parlays instead of just betting these numbers straight. This is why, people. We've been doing it for 3+ years because we were well ahead of the market, knew the numbers would be going down consistently. They've gone down consistently every year. This is just year 4 in the experience where you're seeing these numbers at a joke of a spot. But it's worth mentioning that Coop and I, over the last 36 months, have had the 3 best years of our betting lives, basically, because of the way we now bet the outright market as a reaction to what they've done to this market. And unfortunately, this is where we are now. It's not going to change. But what are your guys' reactions to seeing one guy under 4.5 to 1 when the rest are 8.5 to 1 or better? And now we're looking at 2 people under plus 350, 4 people under 7 to 1 right now, currently at bet 365. What say you?
I say you've got to do a really good job of shopping around, all right? Because the 2 guys you quoted at 3 to 1, you were able to get or can get at 100% of that number.
Wait.
Not anymore.
Wait. What does that mean? 6 to 1 and 7 to 1?
Yeah, I got Kyle Larson. I got Kyle Larson on my parlay at 6 to 1. Adam got him straight 6 to 1.
Where?
Yep.
FanDuel.
And you were counting sheep, but
yeah. And to continue on that, you've got to learn to wake up and pay attention.
Yeah. Why don't you both go fuck yourself? I'll put you both in the fucking dirt. You want to go dollar for dollar with me? I'll bet you $1.
Why do you got to get aggressive?
All I said was that you were counting sheep. For every dollar.
Why can you be civil with George and not us?
Yeah, that's just such a. What a weird avenue.
Don't come at me. Don't come at me like I'll bet you $1 for $1 for every dollar I make more than you this year. Yes or no?
Right.
Yes or no?
Chris Bell was 6 to 1 earlier. Okay. I don't know if he's still 6 to 1.
All right.
Negative. He also went up to 7 to 1 earlier today for a second time.
So I think
at what time was Kyle Larson 6 to 1?
8 o'clock in the morning.
15?
Yeah, 8 a.m. my time.
And at what time was he 4 to 1?
Now.
Right. Did anybody look at what he was 3 hours ago or 5 hours?
He was 5 to 1 3 hours ago.
What was he?
He went from 6 to 550 to 5. He actually went down by 50 cents. It wasn't a straight, they laddered him down.
Yeah, FanDuel opened him completely off this morning.
So, but anyways.
It wouldn't matter to me anyway. I don't know what I'm going to bet it with. But go ahead.
No, that's all I was going to say. The market is getting tight, but, to what you said, I don't know if it was last night, this morning, yesterday, something, but let it get tight. All right. Because when it gets tight, there's nice numbers on the other side.
Right.
So might take a while for the variance to kick in. All right. But at some point it will,
Right. We will definitely get paid off better in the end when the variance hits the track. Unfortunately, when it doesn't, we're going to be making less money than we have been in the past, for sure. All right. So, are there any books still hanging those numbers?
No, FanDuel was really the only one that was close to that, Joe.
I'm assuming everybody else was what? In that 4 to 1 range for Larson, 450 for Bell?
Yeah, I think Canby had 450, right, Adam?
They're 4. So what I try to do is capture the opening odds as close as I can to true opening odds. Caesars opened Larson at 325. MGM just came out. I don't know why they were so late today, but they opened him at 4. Canby was 4. FanDuel opened at 6, then 5 by the time we put it in, down to 4 now. DraftKings is 4th, 365 is 350, and ESPN was 350. So
I went to bed at 6 o'clock this morning and didn't see those fucking FanDuel numbers.
I don't think they came out till about 8 my time. Like Coop said, like 8 to me is 9-ish to Coop, right? So right around that
tracks. That makes sense. All right. So let's go through the contenders. Kyle Larson 4-1. Chris Bell 6-1. Will Byron 7.5 to 1. I'm looking at FanDuel right now. These are your 3 clear favorites.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything to argue about these 3 guys being your favorites. I think if you're betting the outright market, you have to be on all 3. Hard to do if you're betting it straight. We don't bet it straight here. That's why we're up 1 billion units, right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how to differentiate. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I don't know how to differentiate between the 3. I think if you're betting the outright market, you got to get the number up on Larson, you got to get the number up on Bell, and you got to get the number up on Byron. What say you guys?
Well, I didn't. I just bet Larson straight because I wanted to get the 6-1 because I figured that line was going to move. But I will add to that later. I wanted to get the 6-1. So I don't know. I feel like this is the you must have forgot about Kyle Larson week to me. Like, obviously it's easy to say at Vegas, but I feel like he has that edge here to me. And I'm going to go back to Larson, probably maybe a couple parlays.
You're really going out on a fucking limb there, considering he's won
what do you want me to do?
33% of the races in the next gen car.
And he's led how many laps here too? I mean, all the laps.
405. So yeah, where you at, Coop?
So truth be told, when I woke up this morning, at the current time, prior to FanDuel opening up, I was out on Chris Bell, but probably end up betting him, solely due to the fact that he's a very good qualifier here and a good qualifier in general. And, you're risking that number, really not moving. All right. But I didn't. My 2 main targets were Larson and Byron. All right. I was elated to see, 6-1 on Larson, so I took that. Willie B was 10-1. So obviously I jumped on that.
Okay. What about Bell and Reddick?
Do
you not think they could win?
Well, they definitely both could win. I bet both of them. All right.
Well, then why didn't you talk about Bell when I mentioned him?
Well, I did talk to Bell at the beginning. I wasn't in on him, and then I ended up going back in on him. But, last week Adam called me a stubborn old man for not wanting that lane.
In fairness, you are a stubborn old man. So carry on. Go ahead.
So I had those kind of thoughts with Bell this week. But like I said, I probably would have went back in on him eventually because of the qualifying. But when I saw the 5, I was like, I can't be stupid. I just need to do it. It's really hard to win one race in NASCAR. The guy's won 3 in a row.
Sure has.
And, everything has to be perfect. And everything's been perfect for him.
Yep.
And for the perfection to continue on, this is a solid track where it could happen, definitely. But man, you're asking for a lot.
Sure.
4 times. That's
how many times has that happened? 4 in a row.
Richard Petty won 10.
Well, that doesn't count, right? I mean, the Green Bay Packers won 88 championships in a row in 1930, right?
I'm just telling you who won. Jeff Gordon won. Jeff Gordon won 4 in a row.
That counts. Okay, Jeff Gordon won. Is he the only guy?
Jimmy Johnson.
Obviously, that counts.
And one more.
Dale?
No.
Ooh, one more. Carl Edwards?
No.
Rusty?
Trickle.
Rusty?
No.
Daryl?
No.
Fuck me. Bill Elliott.
Kyle Busch.
Who?
Kyle Busch, active driver.
Kyle? 4 cup races in a row?
Yeah. It might be active that those only 3 did it. All right. And maybe some of those ones you did, like Rusty, might have did, but I might have gotten my numbers.
So Kyle won 4 in a row in what, the 5 or the 18?
Oh, definitely the 18. He wasn't in the 5 long enough.
Wow. 4 in a row is no joke.
But I mean, it's very tough. The competition is much better than what it was, when those guys won 4 in a row. And then the cars are completely different too.
Would you not say that would be the most impressive thing, that he has done it on 4 different packages?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bell?
Yeah. If he were to complete the 4th.
Yeah, but the super speed is so much luck, dude. It's so much luck. I mean, and then, he did nothing to win that race.
Yeah. So back to Reddick.
Yeah.
I did not have a Reddick ticket early in the day.
I'm sure you respect what he's done on 1.5 miles in the next gen car.
Yeah, I mean he was really good here last year. From a speed perspective.
Yeah, second fastest.
Yeah. He was 750 at FanDuel. But later on in the afternoon, FanDuel moved Willie B to 750 and put Tyler Reddick to 10. So I was like, that's stupid.
It's because they took so much Larson money.
Yeah. So I now have a Reddick ticket.
Like, how often do you see the books raise the number on those other 2 and not just drop the number on Larson?
So you have a Reddick ticket straight? Or you have to hit parlay legs?
Is that a real question?
Well, I mean, it's fucking 10-1. Yeah.
You think we just bet 10-1 straight here?
Okay.
All
right.
I feel really good about those 4 drivers. I might have a lot on them this week.
You feel really good about those 4. What does that mean? I might have a lot on them. What does that mean?
I might end up having like 3 or 4 more parlays with them.
Okay.
I like those 4.
I like 5 people.
So I also took a prop bet on DraftKings, most fastest laps.
Is this the prop show?
So I got Reddick at 9-1.
I mean, we could mention that on Thursday night, right?
Yeah,
but the numbers are nuked. They're gone.
The numbers are nuked.
Right. So
I got Reddick at 9.
Mention the numbers people can't get.
Bell at 650, Larson at 7, and Willie B at 30-1.
Right.
And the reason I took them is, the numbers are just as good as what they are to win, if not better.
Right.
So, it's kind of like that having there. And then it's also kind of protection if one of them dominate.
Right.
And then, there's a late lap caution. And, somebody else, wins. they can still get the most fastest laps from them. But I mean, the numbers are way, way off on that in that market, and they still are way, way off in that market.
Right.
And they're super correlated. We went back and looked.
Right.
3 out of the 4 who led the most laps or had the most fastest laps had won the race.
Well, not only that, but if you looked at the last 4 races, only one driver not named Larson, Byron, Reddick, or Bell have finished in the top 2 as far as fastest laps in those races.
Yeah, and that snake Logano won with like 2 of the fastest laps.
Right. So like you gotta, if you look at the last 4 races here, there's been at least one driver lead, I think 130 plus laps up to like 160 to 70-ish. So there's been a dominant driver in each of the 4 races.
Right.
One of them was not won by that dominant driver.
Yeah, that was Logano. And
and if you look at the first 2 races, I kind of threw them out from a flow perspective because if you recall, we had a lot of tire issues that year. And there were a lot of flat tires, loose tires, tires flying on the track, etc., which brought out a lot of cautions. Much more in those first 2 races than what we saw in the last 4. The last 4, we've seen 4, 5, 6, and 7 cautions.
Okay. So where I'm at in the outright market is there are only 5 people I want to bet in this race. Larson, Bell, Byron, Reddick, and Briscoe. There's nobody else I want to get.
Larson, Bell,
Byron, Reddick, Briscoe. There's nobody else I want to get involved in the outright market other than those 5 people. How I'm going to get on them, I don't know yet. And to be honest, MMA is horrific this week. So I'm calling on my sharp friends in the college basketball space to help me out this week.
Yeah, I've been looking at college basketball. There's 2
you're not sharp in college basketball, right? Because
it doesn't matter.
It does, though, right?
Still win.
But it matters a little bit, right?
Duke to win the ACC is something I don't mind, but the number is pretty bad.
Let me ask you a question. How many college basketball bets did you make in 2025, you think?
In 2025?
Like during this season, how many college basketball?
I haven't bet any. But
okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Can't wait to hear it.
Houston's another one I was looking at. They're even money to win their tournament. But
right.
They've won a lot of close games. So a lot of close games. I have to watch that. But I will be investing a lot into college basketball once the tournament starts because there's an edge in the unders market. Live betting.
Come on, man. Come on.
Wait and see, Jay.
Man. Hey, come on, man. Listen, I can clown George. I can clown the people that work for us too. Listen, if you haven't made a college basketball bet in 2025, what are you doing giving out your own college basketball plays in 2025?
I just said those are the 2 I'm looking at. I didn't say I was, that's 2 I was looking at. That's all I said.
All right.
I didn't say I used them. I might use them. I don't know.
Are you?
But to be honest with you,
go ahead.
I was serious. I made a lot of money last year on the unders live.
I don't doubt that you did. I don't doubt that you did. But you you might want to get a couple college basketball plays under your belt first. That's all.
I've also been looking at F1 this week. I'll probably end up with some F1
Lando, right? Tell me how you feel about Lando, because that's where I'm at.
I'm not going to tell you. You'll just clown me.
What do you mean you're not going to tell me?
You'll just sit here and tell me I haven't made any, bets in 2025 on F1.
But isn't it
why would I want to start now?
Isn't it the first race of the year?
Yeah, it is. But
well,
you're just going to tell me, why wouldn't I start? Why wouldn't I already started?
They've been betting college basketball for 4 months.
So, but anyway,
it's a good time to bring the show back to what we were here to do.
I'll be in the F1
market. Tell them to hit the like button. Tell them to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
I'll be in F1. I think a good part, at least at the beginning, because the F1 outright numbers, they're not much worse than NASCAR.
Well, I agree.
In some cases, they might be better.
Adam asked me last night, would you rather have F1 numbers or pari-mutuel? And I was like, F1. I want to know the number I'm betting at when I bet it.
I think Adam put it in Discord. You could get the F1 qualifying numbers better than NASCAR this week, Chuck.
You realize that's where we're going, right, Coop? Eventually it's going to be F1. Eventually the favorite will be plus 190, Lando or Max. That is the eventual place that we are going to, no doubt.
So let me get this back on track since you got it way off. So you mentioned Briscoe. Is he your fifth favorite driver, or are you just betting him as the fifth driver?
Because he is. He's my fifth favorite. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Based on the speed that Marty carried on mile and a half last year, I'm gonna hope. I know that you and I have been off the mark on this guy so far this year,
right?
But considering it's the first cookie cutter that we're at this year, I'm going to assume that this kid could put out a car that runs laps like Marty. He was one of the fastest on mile and a half in 2024. I'm going to assume he can do that. Yeah, he is my number 5 favorite. Yes.
So I don't have anything against Briscoe. But like I said the other day, I got to kind of cool my temptations with him. And, I might have been looking for ways to get off of him to cool my temptations with him.
Right.
But do you think it was Marty who was good at the cookie cutter mile and a half, or the car was good at
You want to know what my gut says? Marty. My gut says Marty.
Right. And that kind of worries me with Briscoe.
I completely agree with you.
Because if you look at Marty, he was good at the mile and a half. He sucked everywhere else. He stink.
I don't disagree with you. My gut says it was Marty, right?
And then if you look at Briscoe's record, obviously not in the same equipment,
right?
Not even close to it.
Right.
Not good.
Right. Right. But what I'm saying is that if you and I were on him in different formats, Sam, if you and I were on him in different formats this year, and then we get off him on this cookie cutter oval, and that Marty data ends up transferring over to him, and he has a fucking killer race, I'll be on suicide watch. So I feel like if you and I are going to back him one more time early in the year, we have to at least give him this first race at Vegas, and then off this race I'll temper my expectation on him. But I think we got to give him this race. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, possibly. He's not out for me yet, but possibly. Well, you have a Briscoe ticket, right, Adam?
No.
I thought you did.
I hesitated at the 33. I did not. No, I have a longer shot than
okay, that's right.
Briscoe.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on Adam?
I don't know. I rewatched the race from last year. He ran some laps in the top 5, or maybe he was 6th. the car just kind of went backwards from, he made up a lot of spots on pit road. My question is, like the same thing that you guys said, is him jumping into the 19 just going to make him infinitely better and just as good as Marty here? Or is he on that same level as Marty was in Marty's last year? I would almost wait to see, like, his average starting position is just outside the top 15. Like, if he qualifies outside of the top 10, that number's not going to go down, right?
Right, but that
new round of qualifying,
very good at qualifying.
Well, with the new way that qualifying is without that final group of 10, right? Like,
because that's one thing I think that I would not be surprised if the car qualifies well, because Marty was not very good at qualifying. So to me, it was the car when it came to qualifying.
Marty's average starting position at Vegas was 13th. So not far off from where Briscoe was.
Okay. So the next three drivers, Chastain, Hamlin, and Elliott, I assume would be the next three for you?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could just go down the odds board. After the big four, which would be Larson, Bell, Byron, Reddick, we got Denny at 11-1, Logano 14-1, KB 18-1. Okay, so what I would say from these three would be, I would expect Denny to be the strongest of Denny, Logano, and KB, with the caveat that Kyle Busch has been pretty good so far this year. Now, I don't know what to expect from him on 1.5 tracks, but I've been impressed with how he's looked so far, and he's looked better than I thought he would have so far. So I would say I would rate Denny first of the three. I guess I would rank KB second and Logano third.
We're talking Elliott, not Logano.
Well, no, I'm just going down the odds board, Coop.
Oh,
it's Denny, Logano, Busch on the odds board. So I'm just going down the odds board. So I would say Denny 1, Busch 2, Logano 3. Do I have any interest in betting any of these three people before the race starts? If I had interest, it would be with Denny. Like, Joey has to show me something. KB, while I respect the way he's looked so far, I feel like he still has to show me something on 1.5 miles for RCR. I can only rate Denny of the three pre-flop. I'm not saying I'm going to get on him pre-flop, but yeah, do I think Denny could show up here and put our dicks in the dirt? I do. I do. Where are you guys at on those three guys? Denny, Logano, Busch.
No, Logano, I have no interest. KB, I might end up betting KB. We'll have to wait and see. He's been good at road course. He was solid last week. Obviously, the 2 super speedways, that's his best format nowadays. But it seems like Richard Childress has improved. Last year, it's a small sample size, obviously, this year, and it could end up, changing to like it was last year. But, the car was constantly having a flat tire. Kyle Busch was spinning it, et cetera, et cetera. Just wasn't good. So it's not what we've seen so far this year. Denny, I know people are high on Toyota and everything, but of the 1.5 miles, I think this is their worst track. I think they're better at the other ones. Denny, I think has one top 5 here in the last 6 races. He's had the speed to be like a top 5 car, but never a race winning car. So what makes it different this year?
Right, but Kyle Busch hasn't shown top 5 speed at Las Vegas one time in the next gen era.
Right,
So,
right. So,
like
what I might possibly do is, I have my 4, that I've already mentioned. I might take the next 4 or who I feel the next 4 and pair them with the front 4. That way, one, I can get more exposure on the front 4, but yet I'm kind of covering myself with who I feel are the next 4. And I'll do that by either or wins.
Yeah.
And I'll just search for the best number of, and play it that way.
So would you rate Denny in terms of chances to win this race? Would you rate Denny above Busch and Logano?
Definitely Logano. I don't think Logano can win this race on speed.
Agree.
All right. I think there might be an outside chance that Denny possibly could. All right. And then obviously Denny can win it, obviously the same way Joey would possibly win it. And who was the other one?
Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle was like right on the edge. I'm not sure. Possibly. Of that 4th. He would have been the 8th for me. Or 9th.
Meyer, where do you have those 3 guys stacked up?
So I think I was talking to you last night. I have a lot of interest in KB this week. I feel like I want to get on him before the books adjust, because I do think they're bringing more speed this year. But I don't think I'm going to bet him in the outright. I think I was telling you last night, I'm more interested in what his top 5, top 10. Maybe we could ladder the 2. I think he's going to have good speed. I just don't know if I could bet him in the outright, knowing the strength of the other cars here.
That's kind of where I'm at too. But the problem is, what is he on average in the outright market? 18, 20 to 1?
Yeah, there's a low of a 16, and 3 books have him 20, 3 books have him 18.
So what's he gonna be the top 10? Even?
365. I think it's plus 120.
Plus 120 they have?
I'm double checking.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense to me. Even
minus 130.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, but you always, for those numbers, you're always going to wait till FanDuel drops, because that number on Busher last week was ridiculous. So,
yeah, but to be fair, that number on Busher was 5 cents better at Bet365 than it was at FanDuel. It was plus 175 at Bet365. I just didn't bet it there because I'm saving them for the outright market. But I mean, I wouldn't expect Kyle Busch to be much better than that Bet365 number. I'll tell you that.
No, but I would guess that you could get plus money somewhere. Is my thought there.
Really?
They I guess Bet365. What's his current outright number there at 365 Coop?
Current outright?
Yeah. Is it still 20?
20.
So yeah, maybe the other books open it right there. Maybe it's just gonna be minus 120 across the board. I don't know. But I do have interest in his top 10, top 5 stuff, but probably not the outright market. Denny is the one I can't square up. I think he could have a really good race here, but like Coop said, he just never finds a way inside the top 5. So I don't know what to do with Denny, but I would hate to not be on him if he's good.
But how many times has he been winning the race or running second and gets a pit road penalty on one of the last couple stops?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was on 1.5-mile tracks the last 3 years in the top 3 in speed. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a surprise to any of us when Denny Hamlin is running second all day. That's not going to surprise any of us here. So
yeah, it's not going to take you very long to want to bet him. If you don't have an outright ticket on him to go into the race.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You can't bet everybody. I'm with you. You can't bet fucking 8 people. But I don't know. Then, like outside of the people that we think are upper echelon, if we're gonna put those 4 guys into their own category, I struggle to find somebody that's got a better chance to win the race than Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, he's just elite in this package. Maybe not this track, but he's ran 80% of his laps in the intermediate package in the top 10.
Yeah,
80%.
I mean, of course he has. He's been lights out in this package for fucking 3 years.
He's got the best average finish in this package out of anybody. He's not gonna go away unless he takes a right turn. He's not going away.
I just like I understand the love that you guys are feeling for KB based on what he's done so far in 2025, and I get the fact that you can get him at $7 or $8 a better number than Hamlin. But you cannot sell me on the fact that he's got a better chance to win the race than Denny Hamlin. That you can't sell me on.
No, I agree. I wouldn't bet KB to win. I do think that he can top 5. But I do think Denny's got a realistic shot at winning.
If you looked at the numbers, Denny Hamlin has 2 less top 5s here than Kyle Busch in this car.
Cool.
Yeah, but you're going back, but those were also KB in a JGR car. He's only top 5 once in the RCR car.
Also, let's take a look at all the cookie cutter ovals in 2022, 2023, and 2024. You want to compare them?
I'm just giving you the numbers.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. What does that mean? I'm just giving you the numbers. Paint a picture.
He has 2 more top 5s than Kyle Busch. I mean, Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, lifetime.
But those cars are also the GTR cars.
Is that going back?
In the next gen.
Is that going back to when he was driving for Hendrick?
If you would listen, I clearly stated in this car.
In the next gen.
Okay, but what about mile and a halves in general?
I'm not worried about the other mile and a half. So I'm worried about Las Vegas.
That's crazy, right? That's crazy talk, right?
Right, but I mean, you've got to be worried about Las Vegas because that's where we're racing at. Yes, you can use all of them, all right, as a consensus. And if you use all of them as a consensus, guess what?
Can't wait to hear it.
The same drivers are going to be there. If you take away Las Vegas and use the other ones, the same drivers are going to be there. You take away Charlotte, add Las Vegas, and use the other ones, the same ones are going to be there.
Is KB one of those guys?
Same drivers, man.
Is KB applicable to all those?
He probably is, but his numbers might be worse. But if you look at it, his numbers are better here. Where if you look at Denny Hamlin probably has better numbers at other ones.
I get it. It's his home track, man. He's a Vegas kid. I get it.
I mean, if you look here,
yeah, but But Coop, put him in the RCR car. He's finished 14th, 3rd, 26th, 13th.
Hey.
It's not like he's running the same equipment as he was in that JGR car.
And what has Denny done?
I don't know why I mean, like I didn't even bring up Kyle Busch.
You did, though. You said I might end up.
I said I might. I said he was like my 8th or 9th driver.
You said I
said I wasn't going to bet him in the outright. He wants to start arguments tonight.
He was my 8th or 9th driver.
Hold on. I'm not looking to start arguments, but when I hear I might be betting Kyle Busch in the outright market this week, I have questions. Are you going to blame me?
And I clearly stated he was my 8th or 9th driver.
Well,
and I clearly stated how I was going to get on him if I was going to get on him.
Who is 5, 6, and 7?
Well, you haven't gotten to him.
All right.
I mean, other than Denny Hamlin.
All right. So Coop, me, Meyer, all in agreement on Larson, Bell, Byron, Reddick. Those are your 4 odds-on favorite, rightfully so. We agree with the market. Denny, we spoke about. Joey, we spoke about. Kyle, we spoke about. Ryan Blaney, 18-1. Chase Briscoe, 24-1. Ross Chastain 24-1, and Chase Elliott 24-1. I'll start. I'm going to probably find the best number that I can on Chase Briscoe. Meyer told me it was 30. Probably going to throw. Fuck you, Meyer. What do you mean? What's the number now?
25 now.
All right. So go fuck yourself. Right. But now I have to think about it. But I might bet Chase Briscoe at 25-1 for a half unit. I'm interested to see where Coop and Meyer are on Ryan Blaney. My memory.
I have no interest in Ryan Blaney.
Okay, my memory says outside of Charlotte, he has not done much on a mile and a half. I would have to go back and look, but my Charlotte always sticks in my head with Ryan Blaney, cookie cutters, and this next gen car. I have interest in Briscoe. I don't have interest in Chastain at 24-1. I do have interest in Chase Elliott, though. I think he had a better year in 2024 on mile and a halves. Was it a short track year? No. He was a top 2 or 3 car in the sport on short tracks in 2024. But he did have the best average finish in NASCAR in 2024. 24-1. I think it's fair. I definitely have interest in Briscoe. Have some interest in Elliott. Have no interest in Chastain. Where are you guys at on those 3 guys? You can include Ryan Blaney in there, but I assume none of you have interest in him.
No, I would agree. I'm not too interested in Ryan Blaney. You know, he does have a top 5 here. Other than that, just 2 top 10s. Chase Elliott is interesting at the number. He has the second best average finish position in the intermediate package in 2024.
Did he really?
Second best. He was about so Denny had an average finish position of 8.3. And Chase Elliott was 10.2.
Wow. What was Larson, Reddick, and Bell?
So Larson was 11.5, Reddick was 12.4, and Bell was 13.5.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, definitely.
I mean, to look at the numbers in this Senate, he had one more race than Larson because Larson missed. He missed what, Indy, or what race did he miss? Because he's only got 16. Elliott has 17.
Charlotte.
Okay, yeah. So Chase Chase actually has a better average finishing position than Larson does. So, yeah, I mean, at the number, do you think that he's been as good to start this year as he was in 2024, Coop?
I mean, come on, man. We're a super speedway and fucking road course into the year. How do you answer that?
Well, and he got booted at Kona. I guess the number seems a little out there on Chase, but I don't think I'll have an outright on him before practice and qualifying. Anything from you, Coop? Or
I mean, Coop, are we gonna fucking speak or what?
I was waiting
doing?
for Adam to finish.
I mean, he was done 30 seconds ago.
I'm good.
But that's cool.
So Elliott and Chastain would be 6 or 7 for me, but they could easily be 9 or 10 or 11.
Hold on, Chastain would be in your top 7?
Probably. I mean, but like I just said, I mean, he could also be 10 or 11.
All right, could we talk about him for a minute? Because he's got the best average finish in the next gen car.
Well, I think Chastain and Elliott are kind of similar in my mind. But Ross, like we talked about him a couple weeks ago, he might have that great chassis at Coda and all this and all that and blah, blah, blah. Ross wasn't very good at Coda. Had good numbers from the previous year, right? Yes. Next week, we go to Phoenix. Ross has really good numbers at Phoenix, right? Yes, Ross has very good numbers at Phoenix. Ross wasn't very good last week. Fast forward to this week. Las Vegas. Ross has very good numbers. The guy's got to prove it to me. I don't know. That's where I'm at with Ross. I just think they're headed the wrong direction in general, that organization.
So you wouldn't back Elliott and Briscoe this week before you back Chastain?
They're all kind of similar to me for whatever reason. Different reasons too. I look at can you let me speak?
Go ahead, old man.
I look at Elliott and we look at Phoenix last week. Not a very good history here. Did he race really well? Not really. Did he ever have a winning car last week? No, not really.
Who are we talking about?
Chase Elliott.
Okay, go ahead.
We fast forward to this week, Las Vegas. Not a very good history here in this car. I think he has one top 10. I know Adam mentioned, he had very good finishes. But I think if we went back, I don't know if he had a race-winning car in any of the mile-and-a-half intermediate tracks. He might have just had a bunch of 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th place finishes and finished the races. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if we went back and looked. Chase Elliott didn't lead a lap at any of them. I would not be shocked.
He didn't lead a lap where?
At any of the mile-and-a-halfs last year. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked if we went back and looked and saw he didn't lead a lap.
Oh, he led 3% of laps in the intermediate package.
3%?
3%.
Yeah, not very much. So, I just don't know if he has a race-winning car. And these are part of the reasons why I feel really good about the top 4.
Why I feel really good about the top 4, you said?
4.
Oh, the top 4. Okay. So, if you were going to rate 5, 6, 7, and 8,
I would put Denny Hamlin at 5.
Okay.
And then
I would agree.
The next ones would be Chastain, Busch, Briscoe, Elliott and Chastain.
No particular order?
No particular order. I could put one at 6, the other one at 10, one at 10, one at 6, one at 8, one at 9. You know what I mean? Like,
I do know what you mean. My only disagreement. I do know what you mean. I would agree with you that Denny's probably number 5. My only disagreement is I would put Elliott and Briscoe ahead of Busch and Chastain. But I get it. I can't argue. All right. Meyer, anything else to add there?
Yeah, I mean, I never know what to do with Chastain. If you look at his race finishes here, he's been historically great at Vegas. But I was watching the spring race last year, and they were one of a few cars that tried to go 2-tire stop with 30 to go. He makes up 12 spots on pit road, fell back, but he still had a solid outcome. So I'll be curious to see if that strategy gets replicated for this race, because he only fell to 4th in a 30-lap run on 2 tires at Vegas. So It feels like he's going to always be one of those guys that's going to try something out of the box to kind of get himself back up there and kind of hang on to it. But I would much rather bet him live than pre. He doesn't really qualify well here, but he finishes well.
You're talking about Ross?
Ross.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really qualify anywhere well historically. But yeah, I'm with you. All right. After everybody we spoke about, Alex Bowman, 28-1. Bubba, 31-1. Ty Gibbs, 31-1. Let's go with those three. Here's what I would say. No interest in Alex Bowman. I think he is the clear-cut fourth best at HMS on a cookie-cutter oval. I'm sure Coop's going to disagree with me in 3 minutes, but for right now, he's number 4. Bubba, I don't know what to make. I don't know what to. Do you believe what we saw in 2022 and 2023 when it comes to Bubba on a mile and a half? Or do you believe the bullshit that we saw in 2024 when it comes to Bubba on a mile and a half? I don't know the answer. I don't know. I'm interested to find out. And for that reason, this week, pass. But I'm interested to find out. Ty Gibbs, get out of my face. Just get out of my face. Yeah, he's going to qualify second. He's going to finish 18th. Get out of my face. Coop, Meyer, what say you?
Yeah, I'm
this is a fun group here.
Same boat with you on Wallace. I'll have to wait and see because we just don't know. Would I be shocked if he does very well? No. Would I be shocked if he doesn't do well? No. He just, fell way back last year versus the prior year on the mile and a halfs. Ty Gibbs, my big concern there is the car. The car was not good the last 2 weeks. Obviously, the driver had some issues too, and he owns it.
Hey, could we expand on that? What does some issues mean?
Some issues, like he was spinning around at Coda.
Like going the wrong way on the racetrack?
Yeah.
Well, that's not good. I could do that, right?
Right.
So could you.
But like my big concern though is from the get-go at Coda and the get-go at Phoenix, the car was not good, which didn't help him one bit at all. Not at all. So
are we still high on the kid?
I mean, I haven't.
You know what?
But
that's a 30-second timeout. That's a 30. I'm going to tell you why that's a 30-second timeout. Adam, you and I have been sitting here for a few years now, and every time I bring up Ty Gibbs' name, it's written in stone, my guy. To hear me ask about Ty Gibbs and my dear, dear friend open up with, well, that's the toughest of scenes for one of Ty Gibbs' biggest fans. Would you not agree?
It is a twist of the plot I didn't see coming. I'll tell you that.
So, you know what? Let's bring our dear friend Reed Cooper back into the program to explain the well, if I interrupted you, I apologize, dear friend.
Yeah, I'm very worried about the car too. Like I said, the last 2 weeks the car has not been good. Qualified horrible, wasn't fast during the race. And when you look at, especially the road course Coda, he had been really good at road courses and specifically Coda. So
yeah,
that's a concern. But he's getting a lot of slack and everything for his finishes. But there's a driver that hasn't been named who's not far from duplicating his finishes.
Who is that?
Mr. Brad Keselowski.
Hey.
Not far.
Hey. Let me ask you a question. Who's a better race car driver in your opinion? Ty Gibbs or Eric Jones?
Ty Gibbs or Eric Jones?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if I say Ty Gibbs, you're going to give me the JGR statistics and say, hey, this is, why and blah, 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 blah.
Hey, man, I ask you a simple question. Who is a better race car driver, Eric Jones or Ty Gibbs?
That's a tough one to ask because
it is.
They're both inconsistent. They're both inconsistent. But if I had to pick who would win a race next, it would be Ty Gibbs.
It would be?
Yeah, I mean, why would you pick a legacy car over a JGR car?
Okay. You see how you see what he does, Meyer? You see what he does? Okay.
Oh, do you disagree with that though? I don't think I disagree with what he said.
Hey man. Here's the question. If Eric Jones and Ty Gibbs were currently in a JGR car, who wins a race first? If you need me to answer it, I could because it happened already. One of them has won in a JGR car. One of them has shit on every fucking statistic.
You can't compare the two, to be honest with you, Jay.
Why is that?
One,
I can't wait to hear it.
The competition is a lot more than what it was when Eric Jones won.
Eric Jones is what? Well, how old is he now? 82?
No, he's probably late 20s.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
But the competition's changed. The competition's much better. And then also,
he's probably late 20s. The competition has changed. Go ahead.
I told you.
Come on, stop. What do you mean you told me? He's 20-something, bro.
Right.
You know how old is Ty Gibbs? 20-something.
21.
Yeah. 20-something, right?
21.
Right. 20-something, right? How old is Eric Jones again?
He's late 20s.
20-something, right?
Okay. So basically what you're saying is you're like 40-something and like you're saying you're going to turn 50 this year because you're 49 or something?
Wait, why are we bringing me? I'm a relic. I got a foot. I'm going to be dead in 3 years. Why?
I have no idea where you're going with this because that's
what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. They are both from the same decade. They have very different results driving for the same team. But the consensus out there is that Eric Jones is just some guy. He's just a place filler that's won a race on the cup level when this kid gets his fucking, driving around with fucking black smoke coming out of the back of his car. That's going on, right? But like what I'm saying is,
Adam, I like your Ty Gibbs outright bet more and more now.
Yeah, good. Let me tell you something, kid. It couldn't be more fucking dead.
He's just going to bury himself.
It could not be more just so we're clear, you bet Ty Gibbs to win this week?
No, I've only bet 4 drivers.
Is one of them Ty Gibbs?
Nope, I am waiting for other markets for Ty Gibbs, but I will have Ty Gibbs bets.
What is Coop talking about then?
I don't know. Coop thought I bet Briscoe and a handful of other people.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Pretty sure you brought both of them, but I guess
no, not their outrights. No.
So,
Coop, all I'm saying is this love for Ty Gibbs is a little overblown. That's all I'm saying. He's done nothing to earn your praise.
Have I touted Ty Gibbs at all this year?
Wait, dude. Wait. You don't get to put me through the last 24 months and then say, hey, man, have I touted him one time over the last 30 days? You made me sit through 2 years of fucking Ty Gibbs is the next Dale Earnhardt right?
You bet him a lot, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. But you made me sit through.
I twisted your arm and made you bet him.
I'm not saying that you twisted my arm and made me. I'm saying that you said, Keg, you know who?
I could probably even remember. I wouldn't know what show it was, but I remember there was one show specifically where like you were really on Ty Gibbs, man. And like I was like, whoa. So, but anyways,
I've heard on yours and mine's YouTube channel that he may very well be the next Dale Earnhardt.
I might have said that, yeah.
But
you know what? He still could be, man.
He's
21 years old.
Okay. You definitely said that. And all I'm trying to say is he couldn't beat Eric Jones' results in a JGR car over the last 2 years. That's all I'm saying.
I've had enough of this. I mean, like, I don't think you're.
All right. We move on. All right. Brad Keselowski.
Well, you didn't even. I didn't even get to tell you. Like, I would probably put Alex Bowman number 3 HMS car over Chase Elliott.
Oh, really?
I knew this was coming.
Simply because I think when it comes to speed, I think of Alex Bowman more than Chase Elliott on the mile and a halfs. He's had 3 top 5s here. He's done well here.
This is probably his best track.
If you go back and you look, he closed out last year very well. Been solid so far this year. I definitely, to be honest with you, if I had to bet a 5th driver, probably be Denny, but 6th, probably due to the number. Like I would bet Alex Bowman over a Ross and a Briscoe and an Elliott.
Really?
Bush. Yeah.
I'll look further into Bowman. That piques my interest. All right, Brad Keselowski, 37, Busher 44, Suarez 44. Any RFK love this week?
No.
Yeah, same. Any long shot prices you like?
No.
Meyer?
Yes. I did tuck away a Carson Hocevar at 100 to 1. I'm gonna bet that kid until he wins. If they keep giving me 100, I'm just gonna jam a lottery ticket in the bet slip.
Adam, be careful, man. You might just hear the wrath of Keg in 2 years.
I know. I feel like I
did about
put
Carson
me back in 2 years.
So be careful, man. Be careful.
Shit sandwich.
Hey, Meyer, you want to know why you won't hear it? Because he drives for Spire, not Gibbs. So you got nothing to worry about. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm with you on Keselowski and Busher and Suarez. I don't know what. I mean, Hocevar has looked good on a super speedway. He's looked good on a road course. He qualified well at Phoenix before his car shit the bed. Meyer, do you remember where he was running before he got into that accident? Like, was he comfortably in the top 5 the whole day, or the top 10, I should say, the whole day before he got into the accident?
Who was this again? Sorry, I was looking up something.
Hocevar at Phoenix.
In the spring or the fall? I haven't watched the fall. I watched the spring.
How about fucking Sunday at Phoenix?
Oh. He slowly fell back.
If you're going to start fucking hollering like that,
you actually
he consistently went backwards. Yeah. But when he got up in the top 10, he consistently went backwards.
Okay. There we go. You said the spring or the fall. I said,
listen, I was looking at something. I wasn't listening to your rant. You've been ranting for fucking 2 hours. I didn't listen to it this time.
You know what?
What do you want me to tell you?
The two of you could do this show without me. That's fine.
I mean, maybe we'll ask George to come next week and be peaceful.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
You're taking all. I feel like you're taking all of your stuff you took out on George on us now.
Hey man, I was told I had to be nice to him. You people are my friends. I don't
Well,
have
you can't be nice for more than
No.
2 hours?
I don't have to be nice to you. You're my friend.
I think I kind of figured it all out, like why you're trying to give me hell.
I'm not trying to give you hell.
It's because you went on this big sermon on Saturday night about this guy, Alex Perea, or whatever the hell you put his name on, and how
boy.
guy's God and all this, and how he would be the best wrestler ever, and blah 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 blah, and then he goes out, man, and like he shit the fucking bed.
Okay. First of all, the other guy is the wrestler, right? Who didn't shoot any takedowns.
He won.
He did win.
And you even said he won.
Yeah, I did. And I bet him to win by knockout, but he won by decision. Unfortunately. I am not trying to give you a hard time.
You bet him by knockout?
Yeah.
What made you do that?
Well, I mean,
the number?
He almost number? Yeah, he almost dropped him in what was it? Round 2?
I totally missed
round 2. It like semi-early round, or was it?
It was round 2.
Yeah. So as soon as we saw that, we hopped on the KO for a half unit.
Yeah.
It went down. It went down.
Yeah. Obviously, it went down.
He said, "Obviously, fucking guy wants."
So before we got on the MMA train, Hocevar started 3rd, but he finished stage 1 and 7th, and he never finished another stage in the top 10. So.
Yeah,
to round about what you're saying.
But to your point, Adam, like when he went back to 7th, 8th, and 9th, like I don't think he moved back up. He just continued to fall. Like he didn't repass the cars that had passed him.
Yep, he had short run speed, and he was never a contender long run.
So, Coop, do you think that Spire, for the most part, is super speedway, road course, short track, and just out on the cookie cutter?
If I wanted to bet them this week, I would probably bet Carson Hocevar to win the pole, because they get their engines from Hendrick,
right? So
they could have some speed,
enough to get the pole. You think?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what his number
number's
is.
Not great.
What is it? 20-ish?
I thought it was 750.
Oh, that's even what? Carson Hocevar to win the pole, 750?
No. Hold on, let me verify. No, sorry, it's 18. It's 18. There was another driver that shocked me at like 750.
Yeah, I mean 20 to 1, I guess, feels about right. Would you agree?
Dude, we were getting 20 to 1 on the pole winner a couple years ago.
Cooper, it's 2025, my friend.
Yeah, no, 20 to 1 doesn't make me happy at all.
I agree with you. I know the prices we were getting, but this is where we are.
Yeah, but I don't know. I would not be surprised. If after HMS, 23XI, JGR, I think Spire's going to be better than Front Row. I don't know if they're going to be better than RFK. I'd probably put them behind RFK, and they might do some more. I mean, they put a lot of money in this program, and Rodney Childers is going to help too, being a crew chief there, and they want to win. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of them won this year, but win, I don't know. I don't think it's this track.
Yeah, if they still had a Hocevar over a half season win, I would bet it. So talking long shots. Now we're kind of in this realm of pick a number. Yeah. What do you think about Josh Berry? What do you think that last week was an anomaly?
Come on,
you think that they have speed?
Come on, dude.
They could, but But I don't think the 1.5 miles is the right place for it.
I mean, it was a short track with tire wear. Would you expect the guy to run better anywhere else? Literally anywhere else?
Do you want to just end the show? I'm just trying to talk about people that stood
but,
out last week.
But, I mean, come on, man. I mean, you know about Josh Berry and where he's good and he's bad. I mean, is there a better outlet for that guy to look good than a short track with tire wear? I mean,
I'm disagreeing with you.
Coop. I mean, if that guy's running third with 30 to go at Vegas, I'm living in the upside down.
I mean, if he's running third with 30 to go at Vegas, there was probably a recent pit stop, and he took 2 tires and gained a lot of track position.
I mean, it is quite literally the perfect format for that guy. Like if he was driving in the same car he was driving last year, we would have never lost that bet on Buescher to be the top Ford. But what threw me off was him moving to Wood Brothers. I did not expect that kind of performance coming out of the 21, which is what ended up costing me $6,000 in the end. I just didn't see it. But I mean, he's not a 1.5 mile guy on the Cup Series anyway. You would agree, Coop?
Yeah, I wouldn't put him there.
Any other bomb? Like where you at on like Priest, McDowell, Gilliland, any of these?
Same place on with Barry.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Andrew says, can you correlate Vegas with Kansas? Yeah, they can correlate. Like I said earlier, you pull both of them up, you're going to see the same drivers who have done well. I give Chevy and HMS the edge at Vegas. I give Gibbs and Toyota the edge at Kansas.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what about? I mean, you could throw Charlotte and Texas in there too. I mean, they're all fucking the same track.
Yeah, but they are. But I think when you look at like Charlotte, HMS sticks out. But like Charlotte, I think is more of an even core. Like you could see the Fords come in and maybe more than what you will at these two. Texas is tough because it's all about track position. And if you have that track position, you're going to be good. That's where I stand with Vegas and Kansas.
Well, I mean, that 45 car just dominated Kansas for a while.
Yeah, right.
All right, so I guess that's where we're at in the outright market. Basically, myself, Meyer, and Coop all rate the top 4 favorites currently: Kyle Larson, Chris Bell, Will Byron, Tyler Reddick, as your top 4 choices to win the race. Now, that doesn't happen every week by any means, but that's the case this week. And I'm going to be honest with you people. As the years go by in this next gen car and they continue to run it, that's going to be the case most weeks. Coop and I had an edge for a couple years with this new car where the books didn't really have a fucking clue who was going to win or lose. Coop and I were ahead of the market by 2.5 years. That's no longer the case, man. Now we are entering year 4 of the next gen car, and that's why these numbers are tighter, and that's why it's going to be harder to make money. But the good news, we've made 30 units in the last 2 weeks, so we're okay. We're all right. But Coop, Meyer, and myself rate Larson, Bell, Byron, and Reddick as your top 4. If we were going to give you a number 5 and number 6, mine would be Briscoe and Denny. What would yours be, Meyer? Number 5, number 6?
I think Denny and Chase. I don't know what to do with Briscoe.
Okay. Cooper?
Denny number 5. I could say Chase Briscoe tomorrow. I could say Kyle Busch for number 6, in 3 hours. I could say, Alex Bowman for number 6, halfway through tomorrow. Like, I think 6 through 10 is really tight.
All right. So there you go, boys. Now, I'm not betting any of these people straight. I assume Coop isn't. I assume Meyer isn't. We live in a world
outside of Larson.
Yeah, we live in a world now where if you want to make maximum profit, you want to be able to cover yourself and hedge in the in-game market, you cannot bet these 4-to-1 numbers, because if you do, you're dead. You're basically begging to get back to break even if you have to continue to bet the outright market. So we do what we do. It's the reason why we've shown ridiculous profits in the last 3 years. If you guys want our premium NASCAR picks, you guys can go to nukethehouse.com. Use the promo code NASCAR is back. It will get you a 1-week free trial at nukethehouse.com. I encourage everybody to check it out. It's worth it. I mean, I don't know what else to say besides that. We're up 60 units so far as a team in 2025. Things are going good. Check us out, nukethehouse.com. All wagers fully tracked on the platform. You guys could check every wager I've made in 2025 and 2024. Every wager Coop has made in 2025 and 2024, and the rest of the team. So check us out at nukethehouse.com. Use the promo code NASCAR is back for a 1-week free trial. Don't forget, hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are not already a member. We'll be back Thursday night for the NASCAR Prop Show. Tomorrow night, Kushner and Sean will be here for the NBA live betting show. They'll be back on Thursday for the NBA live betting show. Coop and I will do the NASCAR Prop Show late Thursday night. Johnny and Tommy will do the MMA podcast for this week's upcoming UFC Fight Night card on Thursday night. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we will be live betting NASCAR and MMA throughout the weekend. I encourage everybody to come check us out, come hang out with us, and make some money. For the boys, I'm Keg. We will be back here Thursday night for the Pennzoil 400 NASCAR Prop Show. Until then, we're out. Later.
Later.